Ready?
Yeah.
What's up, Wavehealernation? Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a very special occasion. I got to meet this lovely, beautiful person on a shoot recently. Shout out to everybody from the Visit Newport Beach commercial that we did, the promo. You can find us on visitnewportbeach.com. But I have somebody here with me. We actually met at that shoot, Miss Auzzy. Auzzy, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself fully, because you come from a long way.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's not gonna take the whole thing. Well, I'll keep it short. My name is Arzu, and everybody calls me here Auzzy. I mean, it's my stage name. I'm from Azerbaijan. I moved to Los Angeles in 2015, and lived 3 years in New York, Los Angeles, so back and forth. I love to call myself bi-coastal, but I'm not yet, but getting there. That's the plan. I'm an actress, writer, designer, director, producer,
Singer, dancer.
Well, I'm not dancer, but yeah, singer, entertainer. Yeah, the one word entertainer actually does take it all together, doesn't it?
Yes.
We do it all. Yeah, I published my book right after lockdown. It's available on all the platforms in ebook version. And I have a YouTube channel that has some music in it. I have the project that's called Highway to Hollywood. That's for beginning actors. It's a roadmap how to start acting in LA, and that road for me started right after lockdown. And I decided, like, I'm gonna try to do something that I've never done. I never had this big dream of becoming an actress. I was a fashion designer. I showed the New York Fashion Week. Even if I wanted to work in film industry in any capacity, that was the capacity as a costume designer. And I did work some projects as a wardrobe PA and designed some stuff for the movies back in my country, in Russia. So I have the background experience in that. I never wanted to be an actress. Like, that wasn't ever on the table. But then, LA, I think it's contagious.
Yeah.
It rubs off of you. So yeah, I found this school and I started just for fun to meet new friends after the breakup and 3 years of relationships. And yeah, so when I first asked someone how to be an actor, so what do I do? What do I do to give myself a chance? My friend, he's an actor, he's a working actor, and for like about 20 minutes he spoke nonstop. So you need the reels, and then you need this and that and that, and he just doesn't, the list goes on. And I'm like, oh, okay, rewind. Where do I start? Where do I? You need an agent. Oh, how do I get that? And then he just keeps throwing this information at me, and I'm like, okay, that sounds like too much. I'm not gonna do that. So I decided not to do that, and I just found this acting class, and I was just doing it for entertainment, for myself, for fun time. And I realized that I have a great memory to memorize lines, and actually there is, the life experience does give you a lot to use as a tool as an actor, especially if you're in training.
Yeah. And
then I found an agent, and then I did this and that, and started booking, and then it's like, oh, okay, so now I get it. Because, while I was studying and I started my first steps, I'm such a research beast. I like to research. If there is something unclear for me, I have to sink my teeth in it and, find out everything about it. So I did, and then I formed this product that's called Highway to Hollywood. The roadmap, where do you start? Where do you go? What are the myths, and what the list of agents that I actually sent 500 emails before I found my agent, like to each one. Like every day I would send like 5-10 emails and see if there's anything coming back. Doesn't come back, tweak the subject line, tweak the message itself, because I have zero experience in as an actress. So I finally carved out this letter, and that came back with 5 hits, and so I had 5 interviews for agencies, and finally I booked commercial and theatrical, and off I go.
She makes it sound so easy.
I know,
but
it's not.
so much hard work. So I'm gonna back you up a second. So my listeners know I moved here from Virginia in 2015. So it's funny that we kind of came here around the same time,
the same
but like
time.
never knew each other, right? It is contagious. I came out here, I studied interior design and architecture. So I came out here to be an interior designer. So design minds think alike. I started doing voiceover and then got into improv, and that started from public speaking, and then eventually just wound up to in front of the camera. So here we are, both actors, creative people, different roads to get there, and I think that's kind of the beautiful thing you were kind of saying is like there really is no wrong or right way to start. I think people come in from all different avenues, and then you get there. Eventually, like everybody has their own story and journey, and I love that you're starting your own highway to Hollywood because that's going to inspire somebody from your point of view and your perspective and your experiences. So I want to back you up a little bit though, Auzzy. Auzzy is all the way from Russia, right?
Well, I grew up in Russia. I'm originally from Azerbaijan.
Okay.
It's a small country. It used to be part of USSR, but when 1997 we moved to Russia. And my family still lives there. We do go visit, but since 97 in Russia, then I moved back when I graduated from university to Azerbaijan, and 4 years later, I moved here.
And you're the only one here. You have no other family here with you?
No.
And you have done all these amazing things since you've been here since 2015, right? You've been here 7-8 years, and
It's like ninth year.
Ninth year, okay, yeah. And I think you've done more in these 9 years than some people have done in their lifetime. As far as just creating projects and creative things. So, Auzzy, let's get into that. What made you decide you wanted to become an actor? Because you were curious about it. You asked a friend. He didn't really give you a clear answer of exactly where to start. You started kind of doing it for yourself, but then you start to realize, all right, I'm actually pretty good at this. And like, this is a great tool for me to discover and kind of utilize life, right? So what made you decide to want to fully pursue that?
It's interesting because when you were saying, I was realizing there are reactions in my body to what you're saying because as I said earlier, right, I'm right out of breakup. All our friends were common friends. Yeah. And he's gone, the friend's gone. So I have no one, nothing again.
You're just out here by yourself.
I'm out of.
And at this point, were you able to speak English very well?
Yeah, I was. When I came here, my English was so basic. I just knew how much or what time is it, like the basic very big beginner level. And I also had a block because I was so nervous that I'm gonna speak with accent and they're not gonna understand me. So I basically used the body language to communicate. Yeah. But yeah, later I this is how I learned language. I watched the movies that I've seen many times back home in translation to Russian.
Which were, give us a couple.
Home Alone, Die Hard, all the movies with Will Smith. I love him. Okay. It's like
you just learn
iconic old movies and Pulp Fiction. So I watched them in Russian. I love those movies, and I put them on with subtitles. And one movie I would watch for like 5-6 hours with the breaks, of course, because once you pause, you write it down. I'd write down it with a pen, then in my notes in my phone, and then I would be in the bus going to the beach because I didn't have a car, so I would be like going over those, and I would remember them with the sentences like a script. So there was a bunch of lines. I had a friend back in my country, and he would practice with me the language, and he would be like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I don't know if you can use the cussing words on your podcast, but he's like, he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm pretty fucking far from being okay." He's like, "Isn't that from Pulp Fiction?" So he would catch me on those, and he was like trying to guess which movie because I would remember the entire sentence. I don't know how to build the sentence, right? Yeah. So I would just remember those like literally chunks of, and then I would wait for a week. I waited for that line to come out. So that's how I learned the language. But anyways, I digress. I'm sorry. In the class, I was already speaking well because I started working as a dispatcher in a moving company. So I had script. Every question the client has, I had the question. I had what to answer and memorize it. And then the more I watched the movies, enhancing my vocabulary. So I was pretty good at English. And that happened like 3 years ago. I went to acting class. And I went to the to the class that has this camera to your face, and it's like a TV auditioning class. I don't know why I didn't know where to go, so I chose TV auditioning class. Like, in order to audition, you need to have some tool, some craft, you know. And I hadn't any. So they give you a script, and you sit, and there's a camera to your face, and I memorized it all night yesterday. I knew it by heart. In my bedroom, it sounded perfect.
And then you get in front of the
camera blank. I'm like, and then teacher goes, permission to look in script. And I'm looking, and it's just letters that I don't recognize. I'm so nervous because there's a class that's not many people, 15 people or whatever. But the camera to my face, and there's a big screen that's, that projects it. And I just blanked. I wasn't able to even read. It didn't come back to me until like a minute. And then it came back to me. My voice was shaking. I'm like, okay, I suck at this. I suck at this. And then a couple classes more of that, I started speaking. At least the voice came out. And I was there only a month and a half or 2 months. And I wasn't planning to come back. And the teacher caught me on the parking lot. She said, listen, I'm not trying to sell you come back to this school or anything. But you have something. Maybe find yourself like traditional school and see how it is. And I found Beverly Hills Playhouse, which is, it's one of the best in LA. And I started from scratch, literally 1 minute scene, 2 minute scene. Now I can make like a 20-minute scene.
What do you think that something was that she saw?
I think the life experience, I guess. Because, I know I have this, eyes that like of an old lady. Not in a physical way, but there's,
Just a lot of wisdom and experience there.
Yeah, it's just a lot of survival, I guess. That's what it left the mark. Because, You've
been through a lot.
I've been through, yeah. I don't, like, I usually, like, when people say, you deserve it because you've been through it. Like, we all deserve it.
Everybody works hard.
Everybody
we've all
works
had a
hard.
story.
Everyone has something that is heartbreaking. Everyone has been through. Because life is not easy. Nobody said it's going to be easy, But I don't know. She because I'm surprised she said that. At the moment, I wasn't good. But she just saw something. So that's what calls a good teacher, can recognize that, okay, this is teachable. There is something that we can train or someone else can train. So that's what she saw. Because, in fact, seriously, I wasn't that good.
I think it might have been, too. I mean, just from my short experience in knowing you, I think it's that tenacity that you bring with you. Even just like you said, going back and watching movies that you like to learn the language. I mean, that is truly inspiring to a lot of people because I still haven't learned how to speak Spanish yet. And I've been living here my whole life and I need to. But you learned an entire language just by doing the thing that you love, just watching movies. And I think you saw that hard work and that tenacity within you too. So bring you up to speed a little bit. So now you have agents. Now you have managers. Now you live in Hollywood. We're in Hollywood right now. You made that dream come true. You manifested it and you're here doing it. So where do you see yourself going with acting or where do you want to go with it?
Well, I do have big dreams. I don't dream small because otherwise it doesn't keep me going.
Yeah.
So I do want to work on big projects with the great director Christopher Nolan is a dream. Coen Brothers.
I was gonna say, let's put it out here. Let's manifest.
Yeah, manifest. I am. I'm like not even say, oh, you want Oscars? That's just awards. It's just bullshit. I'm like, you know what? Whatever you call whatever your mindset is, don't impose it on mine because I do believe in. In dreams coming true and you being brave enough to say it so people look, laughing. I remember when I was 12 years old, my mom, and she's a tailor, so I've been around sewing process a lot. And there was this documentary, and one of the designers was sitting in Parsons School with the mannequins. And as a 12-year-old kid, I see big mannequins, that's like toys, right? Dolls. But big size. So it's like, oh my God, I want to go there. I literally said, I want to go there. Not because I wanted to study at Parsons or something. I didn't know what study at Parsons means at 12 age.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be near those dolls. 2017, I got acceptance letter to Parsons. And when I said that, we were living in Russia, near to Japan. So it's like, over the ocean.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to go there. And that's in New York. And my mom said, oh, you little dream. Poor thing. You know, she didn't think it's real. When I told her, Mom, I got accepted to Parsons, to that specific school. She knows Parsons. She was blown away. She said, I have no doubts that you can get anywhere if you could get from Russia, from that end to the New York. So this is in the movie industry right now. I don't know I do know what's going on, and it's very unfortunate. But I do believe that it's just there's this change happening, right? And it will get somewhere. There's still people who love this thing, you know. And there will be. I've written a script myself, and I'm shooting that. Hopefully by the end of this year, it will be shot.
Yeah.
And it's already the script is already in the editing, so the final draft is.
I want to come back to that, but let's. All right.
Did I digress?
No, you're good. No.
Do this.
Because I wanted to pull this out of you. Is so you get into Parsons. You come to New York first when you come to America, right? So
first to LA.
First to LA.
2.5 years here, and then to New York.
Okay, so in your first passion, I guess, when you came here, you wanted to be a fashion designer, right?
Yeah, I was a fashion designer back home,
Okay.
and I came here to continue this.
Gotcha.
And New York Fashion Week was my Olymp. You know,
yeah, that's huge.
Yeah,
that is huge.
Yeah.
So tell us about what made you want to become a fashion designer, and then tell us about your time out in New York. Because I feel like that was a whole experience and journey and life in itself. So tell us about that.
That's a love story for me, New York.
Yeah.
Yes, because as a fashion designer, it's one of the capitals. So it's for London, New York, Milan, Paris. So New York, and I wanted to go there, but I was so intimidated first 2.5 years here. So I went here to LA Trade Tech studying fashion design here. Although I've been doing this since I was a kid. I grew up. My mom is tailor, so I grew up in the atelier.
It was just in you.
Yeah, I was sewing my own clothing when I was 12, 13. For years. So, and New York was intimidating. And then, so what I did, if anything scares me, I need to find out everything about it, then approach it, then it's not that scary. Scary is just unknown. So, I studied here at LA Trade Tech. I took a vacation for 3 days to New York. And I just came immediately on Manhattan. I felt I'm home. Mm-hmm. I never had that feeling here. I do love LA. I know beautiful spots for everything, for food, for rest, for beach, for everything.
But you just felt something in New York.
New York, just like, I kind of exhaled, I was like, this is home. This is my vibe. I don't know. It just fell in love with. And Parsons, and I literally did the application to Parsons. You know how? It was just, I'm going to manifest. They're probably not going to take me because 10% of acceptance in Parsons, it's hard to get in. It's like, Harvard for fashion designers.
For sure, yeah.
And I'm just going to send my portfolio. And I didn't.
You got in.
No, yeah. I was like, it's just my way of manifesting. I'm sending my application. They're going to say, no, it's fine. The next year I'll apply again. They say, no, I'll apply again. I'll keep manifesting this. I had no idea. The first letter I got from them, let me back up a little bit. So I applied. So I came back from New York. I was like, I can't stay here anymore. And my friend said, why don't you transfer from LA Trade Tech to Parsons? I'm like, well, the acceptance is insane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just got a car and I have an apartment here. She's like, well, I'm not sure, there are people who live on the streets, but I'm sure there are homes there too, and I think there are roads so you can drive. Just because I just got a car, I can return it. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I kind of got that validation because I was just scared. And she just said, my best friend, Lisa, she said that. And I packed my stuff, and 2 months later, I took Route 66. I drove to New York. Cross country. I put all my stuff in my car.
So not only did you learn how to speak the language, you learned how to drive over here and get a license. How was that experience for you? Because I'm sure driving in America is different from driving over there.
Yeah,
right?
I never drove back home. I had a driver.
Okay.
Or the times that I didn't have a driver, I had a metro station, subway.
I mean, I want to ask you, were you scared, but you drove cross country and driving in New York, of all places in America? That's something in itself. So like, were you scared?
I was a lot. And here I got a teacher, and he said, if you're scared in the road, it's intimidating. 4 lanes, lots of cars, high speed. He said, just sing. Sing out loud.
Mm-hmm.
That life hack is forever with me. I advise it to all my friends who's just getting licensed. They're like, just sing. It pieces you down so fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I sang every
all
time.
Cross country.
All cross country, like all those
To New
folk
York.
songs.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really fun, adventurous thing. Because I wanted to see Home Alone. I told you one of the favorite movies that we see every year.
Yeah, it's in New York.
It gives you the vibe of the Christmas in New York. So I wanted to see Christmas in New York. So I started driving December 17, 18, all the way to 24th. Wow. And I saw Christmas decoration all over the States. And 24th, I think 22nd or 23rd, we arrived in New York. And I did go to Rockefeller Center, so that, bucket listing. I literally crossed it off. Yeah. All New York experience. And so I stayed, and I applied and I went, right? But they're like, but you didn't get an answer. What if you don't get in? I'm like, well, I'll be closer to my school anyway. Then I'll apply next year. I got in, so I just settled in a new apartment in Long Island City. And I get a mail from Parsons. My hands are shaking. I'm opening it, and the letter says, sorry, good try next year. Next season or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. It did a little bit sting, honestly, but I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'm not gonna let myself go in there. I didn't get in. 2 days later, I received another letter saying, sorry, we sent you the other letter by accident. You actually got accepted. Here's your numbers. Come into the admission.
Yeah. I
swear to God, I was crying out loud. I was calling my mom and telling this to her. Because first one I told her I didn't get in. She's like, well, that's okay. It's New York, 10%. It's not easy. Don't give yourself a credit.
They're really playing with your emotions on that
one. I swear. I think they needed me to let it go, and then for real got me in. Yeah. So it is scary. All of it's scary, but that's my doping. I go there. I need to have something that pushes me, something that scares me. Then I conquer it, and that's what it's my pattern.
I mean, Auzzy, obviously you're a woman that knows what she wants. I mean, you didn't even know if you got into the school yet. You had already moved there. You were all in committed. So tell us about, what did that program and what did that school give you? What did you take from Parsons? Because you came back here to LA, and you just told me that you felt like you were at home in New York. So what did Parsons give you? What did New York give you? And why did you want to come back? It's a big question.
That's a fun question, honestly. Yeah. I said everybody went. I got a couple of times invitations here to work as a wardrobe PA on projects, but that was like a gig kind of thing. I come in, they pay the tickets and everything, and I work the project, I go back. That was perfect. Bi-coastal, I get to enjoy LA sun, but I still get to go back to my beautiful apartment. By the time I moved to Manhattan, I didn't want to come back live here. I subletted this apartment because this was rent control, and it was really something that you keep, right? In case if I come back. Yeah. And I came back here to work on a gig. I needed a car. And I rented a car from Turo. And my car got, when the high temperature BMWs have their tire pressure goes down. It's just if it's cold overnight, it can show. Yeah. It's not like deflated, but it's still, you need to readjust the air. And I wrote the owner of the car. I said, it shows this tire. I don't know if it's safe to drive. He's like, I'll come and fix it. So he came and fixed it, and we kind of chatted, and I didn't know that's gonna be my next love for 3 years. So we kind of connected, and I left back to New York. So I rented that car for a week, and couple of times we went out as you know, just to talk, coffee, maybe like a networking kind of thing. I did not see this turning into any love story at all, seriously. You know, the guy is like, usually I am attracted to tall, good looking, like, I'm not saying he's not good looking, but you know, like tall, like this, the ideal version of six packs, you know, that kind of guys. And this is like a really nice chubby guy. And, you know, you didn't think it's something. So that's why when, you know.
But you guys connected?
Yeah, we connected. And and then I went back and I felt like, oh my God, I miss him. And so we started traveling back and forth. He would come to New York. I would go to LA, or he would just, you know, let's go to San Francisco. Let's go to Fresno, Arizona. So we traveled all over. And then at some point it became a little bit too much of travel. With him, we were in Las Vegas, and I received, so you cannot believe this, New York Fashion Week was like Oscars, right? That was like, oh, one day I'll get an Oscar, so one day I'll get to New York Fashion Week. Every year I would send my portfolio to New York Fashion Week that I want to show, and they would not respond or say, sorry, we are at the capacity, whatever, like, you're gonna get in. So this year, I was moving from Long Island apartment to New York, and I had these posters all over the place, like, keep focused, stay focused, New York is waiting for you. Like, I would post this New York Fashion Week's, like, you know,
you were locked in.
Photos.
Yeah, you were pulling it to you.
Yeah, I was pulling it to, and I'm like, stay focused, New York Fashion Week is waiting for you. At the point when I was moving, and it was like about 6 years in a row, I'm sending my portfolio there. They're not answering. I ripped it apart. I said, you know what? Forget about it. New York Fashion Week is not happening for you. That's what I said. I went to Las Vegas for one of our trips together with my boyfriend, and I received a message in Instagram. Hi, we found you on a hashtag New York fashion designer. I had a hashtag on one of my, and my entire page was about fashion. The other Instagram page. So we have one designer drop, and we need to fill that spot immediately. Would you like to participate in New York Fashion Week? I dropped my phone and I screamed, and I swear to God, I'm like, what? And he's like, what happened? Who died? I'm like, no. This is, it's probably scam, right? Scam. They're just probably extorting somebody. So that's what it is. And no, that was actual production, and you know, they sent me official invitation. They asked for my email, so I sent them my email, and they sent me the invitation. So I got invited to it was actually on the schedule of New York Fashion Week. During New York Fashion Week, there's a lot of shows happening. It says, oh, it was in New York Fashion Week, but no, it was literally an official schedule of New York Fashion Week, which was a big deal, you know. It was for starting, like, aspiring designers, beginning designers. That's fine. It were a bunch of beautiful, talented designers that were alongside me showcasing their collections. Yeah, so, and I dropped it, and I'm like, but I can't do it. I can't do it. He's like, why? But I have no collection, and it's in a month. He's like, well, then you're not getting any entertainment. You're not getting any entertainment until you sketch. So I started sketching right there in Las Vegas. So that night, I think I come up with 2 outfits that made it to New York Fashion Week. And ever since, he would say, we're not going out, we're not having any fun until you show me a sketch. And I remember, like, one of those days, I was like out of ideas. And he said, no entertainment until I see the sketch.
And good on him for pushing you and supporting
you. Yeah, and I
like
sketched just the naked model.
Yeah.
I'm like, you said sketch, you didn't say anything about clothing, so let's go, I need to eat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then in a month,
it
happened.
You did it.
I did it. I went out, like, when I got out to you know, after the last model, they come pick you up, and then with the old models, you go on the runway.
Yeah. I
didn't know what's happening. It's just like a lot of lights in your face, and there are like hundreds of photographers shooting at the spot. I didn't know what's happening. I was like, not there. And then we went back, models got undressed, everything got zipped. I come out and I started crying. I was like, what just happened? It's like, it's so quick. You prepare for a month, right? And your whole life. Yeah, your whole life. And then the show is literally less than 2 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
what, 12 models going out, back, you go, you back, it's over. And that's it. And you wanted this your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's pretty intense experience. But like for me, it's like, I kind of gave myself that word, like I promised myself to do that, and that happened, and then I came back, and everybody was waiting more, and I didn't want more. I didn't, like, I felt like, no, I need a break from that. I need, because for years, this was a dream. And finally it happens. Like sometimes that's what happens to your dreams. Some will go further, right? But some will just, that's what you needed. That's okay.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, so what happened? But you showed. Everybody was like, so they want more. But it's a beast, you know? Are you willing to feed it?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? No. And my sewing machines were right here before this piano.
Mm-hmm.
It was like right here. And I looked at them and I felt like guilty, you know? Like it's standing there, it's not doing job. And I don't feel inspired. But I'm so scared to let it go. Finally, I got in a situation when I had no money for rent. And I sold the machines and paid the rent. And I felt such a relief.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna get back to the fashion design.
So at that point, did you feel like you had done everything you ever wanted to do in New York and like you could retire in New York? And then so what made you decide you wanted to come back to LA?
No, I miss New York every day. I'm actually gonna go soon. Okay. I'm literally right now. I have my New York fix. I have to go at least for a couple of days. I miss it. Even when I moved here, I would go every 2-3 months for a few days. I came back here because it was too much travel, and I got job offer here that was paying well. And I'm like, well, okay, then that means I have to come back because this way I get to see my boyfriend. I don't like the long distance thing. Yeah. It's not a good thing. I don't believe in it anymore. So I came back and renovated my apartment, got myself a car, and then, you know, like I just traveled to New York every day. But I miss it. I mean, if you ask me which one I like more, I love New York more, but I love being here too. So I don't have to choose.
Yeah, no, you don't.
We don't have to choose.
That's the cool thing about it. I'm glad you're here. Obviously, we would have never met.
I know,
but
right?
I wanted to pull this out too. So while you're doing all these like bucket list amazing life experiences, you've been through a lot of long-term relationships, and you've dealt with and you've maneuvered these while you were going through all these experiences. So tell us a little bit about like, what have you learned and like how has that been for you to, you know, I mean, some of these people help shape your life. Yeah, but you know, like you said, and with that too, I feel like all these things you've ever wanted, you got them once you let go of them.
Yeah.
So
that's something I'm noticing.
Yeah,
myself.
Once you completely let go of something that comes to you. So, with these relationships, I mean, what would you like to share with everyone? Like, what has it taught you, or like, how has it shaped your life?
It's you know, I think I have this a little bit. You know, if I believe in something, I'm there.
Yeah, I think we've made that pretty apparent. Like you're a very powerful person, a very powerful being, a very powerful woman. Like I said, I mean, you want something, you see it, you attract it to, you go after it, you get it. Like we know you're gonna get whatever you want.
Like a pit bull.
Like, yeah, like that. I think people get that. So yeah, I mean.
Yeah, the passion is.
And relationships
there.
are hard. You know, they're not easy.
Yeah, but I think this is. If you're asking me what I learned, I think it should be easy.
Yeah.
It should be freaking easy because we complicate it. The only reason to have a relationship is to enjoy together, intimacy, communication, adventures. It's so much more fun if you're doing it not alone.
Yeah.
I mean, alone is fun too. Don't get me wrong. I've traveled all over the world alone. I've slept in campgrounds alone, in my car, in tent. People were looking like, is she crazy? Is she psycho? Does she has a body in her trunk? You know, people are not used to seeing a girl traveling alone. Yeah. But I've done that. It's fun. But if you get into a relationship, we have these expectations. I had the expectations. Honestly, I did. I was like, well, you're a man. I'm coming from a culture where a woman is a wife and a mother. That's her main task. She's not supposed to work. She's not supposed to conquer the world.
Right.
But I had this, so I'm going after it. And no, I'm very lucky to have parents that wanted me to be free, to, you know, to not be in this old school version of a woman.
Yeah.
My mom is a fighter, you know. She when she wanted to work, that was the years. It was nonsense. Are you out of your mind? Kind of situation. But you know, they were best friends with my dad, and they kind of agreed that she wants to do this, she can do it. And I am in this, you know, new generation where there's so much to experience, and that's what I bring to the relationships. But you see, I'm also from a culture where you don't quit. My parents had their hard times. Every family had their hard times. All my uncles and aunts, nobody divorced. That wasn't even an option, right? And I'm not saying you gotta stuck around. I'm not saying you shouldn't try.
Mm-hmm.
There's this golden mean balance somewhere in it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I don't quit. If something goes wrong, I'm trying to fix it. And I'm a therapist on one of the educations that I have.
One of the
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Yes, I have a master's degree in psychotherapy, psychoanalysis, and 8 years of practice as a therapist. Now I do healing modalities using those tools as well. I don't do traditional therapy anymore, and I do mentorship, one-on-one mentorship programs. But that's only recommendation based, and maybe I'll take new clients. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's something that I'm considering too, but need to find some time in 24 hours. But so I'm trying to fix, right? And I'm trying to work on things. And sometimes you shouldn't. Sometimes if there is abuse, you just leave. I couldn't. I'm not coming from a family where I was abused. My parents are the best that you can dream of. We were like this, you know. Yeah, we were poor. We had the struggles, financial struggles. We immigrated to Russia. It wasn't easy. I'm not talking about being spoiled brat. I'm talking about being loved and protected by your parents. So I'm not used to abuse. But I have been 7 years in a relationship where I was abused physically, emotionally. And I don't know why. I couldn't leave. I was trying to fix it. And letting go is really hard. For me, is really hard. I'm like, no, I'm gonna make this work. It's stupid sometimes, seriously. Now I realize that relationship is not for, you know, I don't want a man to save me. I don't want him anything except have fun with me.
Just to come alongside with you.
Yeah, and enjoy this, but you know, loyalty is the main thing. That's very, very questionable value nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, you have no idea how many times a week I hear open relationship. So we broke up with my recent boyfriend because he wanted the open relationship and I didn't. And I'm driving from the beach literally 2 days ago, and there's this guy in Tesla. He puts down his note. You're cute. I'm like, thank you. And I have a convertible, so the car is open. He talks to me, right? I'm like, thank you. Hey, my girlfriend and I have our open relationship. Would you like to join our couple? And I literally looked up and I'm like, are you shitting me? Seriously, like, why?
Yeah, what about you gives off open relationship to other people?
I don't know.
You don't know what it is.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, thank you for that question. Because I'm like, what makes you think that I'm...
Right.
I don't get it. Seriously, it just pisses me off. I'm still in the process of dealing with that. Like,
I would go as far as to say, Auzzy, you probably don't need a man. In the sense of, again, you're a very powerful woman. You know what you want, you go get it. I feel like maybe too, and I think this is for anybody. I think in a relationship, you just want somebody to be loved by. Yeah. And just like you said, somebody to come alongside
it's
you.
not
with
about
this
need.
experience.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I need a man. Listen, this town. Why
Hollywood,
do you need a man?
yeah, it's its own. LA is
weird,
yeah.
but like, why do you need? You can like, I'm a woman, right? I'm a very passionate woman. Of course, I have needs, right? Physical needs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a problem in LA to have sex, get laid? It's not a problem.
Yeah, I think.
So that's not what I want.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's a part of it. But what I'm saying is, like, need kind of thing, nothing. I just want someone to be with and like, you know, and build something or maybe have fun, travel together, you know, and I do want kids. And that's something that freaks out a lot of men. Yeah, I think I don't know. You know when people say like, oh, opposites attract? I really think for the long term, you need someone in the same mindset and principles and not that different, because that difference is romantic in the books. In life, if I'm a fire and you're completely like, you know, the other person is completely needs Netflix and chill all the time, that's gonna be a conflict. You know what I mean? So but I you know, I go with I never use my brains. Seriously, I never use my brains, and now you can cut this and they're like, oh, I never use my brains, she's stupid. Yeah, but
I'm gonna leave it all in here. All of it.
No, you know, like when sometimes they cut the pieces of interview and stick it. I never use my brains.
I would never do that to you.
But it's fine. You can do it. I accept. You know, we're everything. We're smart and stupid. And
it's all a part of the journey, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, like I'm a smart ass. But we are as smart as we are stupid. You gotta understand that, right?
I love that, actually. Yeah.
You are as strong as you are weak.
Yeah.
It's because, you know, they say like we're this quantum field with, there's a lot in us and we have all of it. That the part that you deny, they're gonna come and bite you in the ass. So that's why, you know, and I am as strong as I am weak, because I'm crumbling down and crumbling down. It's like, ooh, you know, it's not quiet. It's not, and if I'm laughing as loud, that's how I cry when I'm upset. So it's all of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. But I actually like those. You know, it's like I don't have this self-importance problem. It does happen sometimes when I'm directing or when I'm something. I'm important, but we all slip to that once in a while. It's just, you know, I don't use my brain. I use my heart. And I was like, even if I know it's gonna suck. Like I know at the end it's gonna be bad. I do know that. I knew this with this last relationships, right? I knew it from get go. I knew it was like, oh shit, it's not gonna be able to handle this. It's not gonna but it was so passionate, and I just dive in.
You love hard. Yeah. You fall deep. Yeah. And I wanna bring this out while we're here. Speaking of that, your first love, your parents. You and your parents are very close. I want to honor him right now. You recently just lost your father, right? Yeah. And you were telling me that there was a situation where it all happened back overseas, and you did not get the chance to say or see him necessarily before everything happened. So tell us about your relationship with your dad. I know I can just tell you're a big daddy's girl.
I'm a big daddy's girl, yes.
So please tell us about your dad.
Yes, I would love that. He was my best friend. He still is. I don't want to sound cuckoo, but I talk to him even now, and I can hear his answers.
What do you feel like he's telling you right now?
You know, I kind of have this feeling that he's with me a lot since he passed away. Yeah. And that happened on 4th of July, which is also, symbolism of it is insane. Like because I don't believe in coincidences. It's everything in my life is connected. There's this beautiful logic to this chaos. You know, it's like now I have to be independent. Although I've been independent for the past, 10 years? Yeah. But he always said, I remember when I came to him and I said, I'm going to America. And he got upset. He didn't say anything. He was really disappointing, like this face, and he left. And then he came back the next day. He said, you just came to me after all these years of friendship. You just come to me and you just say you're going. You're not asking for my blessings. You're not asking for my permission. I'm your father. This is the culture reminding you that his dad says, no, you sit home. You're not going anywhere. And I realized that, that was disrespectful. Because I love my father. And I know he was my best friend. He was the one inspiring me to be who I am. And now I'm just disregarding my greatest teacher. And I said, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. That was, stupid of me. If you don't think I should go, I'll stay. I'll stay and I'll be here and I'll get married and I'll live the life that you want me to live, because that's, again, culture, right?
Honorable to him.
Yeah. And he said, he looked at me, he smoked the whole cigarette, did not say a word. And then he said, I will never forgive myself if I see you, slowly dying here. You have my blessings. And just so you know, I'm behind your back, like a mountain. Mountain. You got me. You can lean on me anytime. I got you. And my mom was like, oh, stop talking like Jeff Bezos,
Gotta break up the moment a little bit.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. And then he's like, well, I have much more important things than money, which, we weren't never rich. So, like, meaning support in America, what can you do from Russia? No. There's that power he gave me. Yeah, I felt like it was so empowering. And I remember it, literally, we talked about this yesterday, and I'm like, do you remember what he said to me? And she's like, yes, I remember beautifully that conversation. But then, he died in 1 second. He wasn't sick, he wasn't nothing. It's just his heart stopped and he was gone. He didn't even, good that he wasn't sick or, fading away. Like, he didn't suffer. Just was gone in a second. And I'm 13,000 miles away. I can't go. And there's no point. He's not there. And that was torturing me too. I mean, like, do I go? And my mom said, this is the best gift for yourself, because you will never know. You never saw him in, us putting him in the ground. He's still alive. For you, you'll still be somewhere there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he read Ray Bradbury's book to me when I was 4 years old. I mean, it's we had very, very special relationships, and he was a buffer between me and mom when we were fighting. Mom and me, we're close, but we're like best friends. That will we would just butt heads, because she's a strong woman and very, leader.
I could just already see that.
Yeah, yes, I get
Apple
it.
Doesn't fall far from the tree. I see that.
True. From my dad, I got this quiet, I can quiet down and I can be very grounded. That's my father. Mm-hmm. My mom is a fire. Mm-hmm. She's strong. She's right. He was very, very still. And if there are times that I get my stillness, that's him and me. And that depth of thought, that's also his thing, because he would read book. We would just communicate, like, oh, did you read that book? What do you think? And we were reading philosophy books, like religion, different religions. We would talk about everything. Yeah. And honestly, I still can't believe fully that it's sad. That part is sad that I didn't get to hug him. But for him, I remember he said, literally, it was his birthday July 1st, and July 4th he was gone. And I talked to him, and he said, I'm like, what, did you make a wish that you're gonna have a party? He said, well, you were here, and my brother was on a vacation as well. He wasn't there. He said, well, you're not here, and everything I ever wanted is already happened. I said, what's that? He said, well, I have 2 kids that I'm proud of, that are standing on their own feet, and I love where you guys going, me and my brother. I feel like I've accomplished my task. And so he said that, I swear to God, it's insane when you think, like, was that a goodbye? Did he knew, somewhere? So all those kind of things, but he did say everything I needed to know. He said, you already have the strength, and I gave you everything I could. He said that for past few years, you and your brother were teaching me, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Which I disagree, but I appreciate him saying that.
It's beautiful.
I feel like
it's so funny. I know July 4th signifies America's independence from England, right? And it's almost like, in a way, he found his freedom that day. And it's so cool. You guys can't see here, but there's pictures of him everywhere right now with you. Even then when you were a little girl. And I don't know. I just felt like in a moment or in a way, I've kind of met him through you, and I can definitely feel his presence everywhere around here. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. Glad we got to honor him. And on that note, I wanted to pull this out. I've noticed this about you, Auzzy, is that you post a lot on social media, and you say you feel like there's a million women inside of you. You know, you feel, and I see it. I mean, I feel like you've lived multiple lifetimes, like you've gone through multiple journeys in this one life that you've had as yourself. Tell us about that. How do you, who do you feel is inside of you? Who do you feel like has come out? Who do you feel like needs to come out? And how do you kind of channel those? I think this is like a creative line that you have. I think you provide a lot of inspiration to women. I think you are a very powerful person as a woman and as a human. So I mean, for all women out there listening, who do you feel like you are, and who do you feel like you're speaking to?
Oh wow, that's a beautiful question. Thank you. I didn't know that's the impression I give.
Because I see it. I see that there are multiple women. So you are a true like international Renaissance woman. I see like you're a director, actor, again, all these other things. You've accomplished so much, and yet you just still keep going. Like you like you said, you have no quit inside of you. So who are all these women? Introduce us to them.
Oh well, I know the one that has fun with everything. This is new philosophy for me. I mean, new perspective to the life for me was life is a game, and we all are entertaining ourselves. So, like, I don't know. I've directed the scene from a play. It's called Waiting for Godot. I don't know if you heard of it. It's Beckett's play. It's all over the place. If you're interested in reading good plays, I'll recommend you to read that one. But it requires a lot of thinking, and the story there is the life, like they are waiting for something all the time, and while they're waiting, they're entertaining themselves, and it's much more deeper. But I feel like after directing that, I'm like, oh, life is a game. We're waiting. What are we waiting? Well, basically, if we're saying that we're waiting for our death, then there's this time, might be big, might be small in the historical scale, it's nothing, right? So with that time, we are entertaining ourselves, we're doing something. And some people just play the suffering game, or abuse game, or the crime, or it's all games, right? I mean, I get it, it sounds like, oh,
playing the victim.
It's not a game, it's a life, yeah. But if you think about it, isn't it like, look, you know these people, they just keep going through the same thing over and over. And I've been keeping going through same things that I don't like. That's when therapy starts, when you don't like the game you're playing. When it's not satisfying you anymore. Because a lot of people are satisfied by the abuse, but there's benefits that they get satisfaction. Sick version of it, but satisfaction nonetheless. But the moment you're not happy with it, you go to the therapy or any way of healing that, because they're like, oh, this is not fun, I don't want to do this. But in that matter, I kind of know that this, like, the playful attitude towards life was there. So I got to recognize this good housewife kind of woman. That's me. I've been that. I've cooked, I've sit home, I've done that part. No, not fun. Let's go. What if I start doing something creative? And I started like as an assistant and then project manager in a design and architecture firm. When you said you came to work in actually, I'm like, oh, we have a connection there too. Interesting. Yeah, but so, and oh, what if I'm a business lady? Oh, that's fun. Because I've seen business lady, and I'm like a monkey. Seriously, we all are, but I'm saying it. I'm like a monkey. I came to the company to work as an assistant just to make a living at the moment. I saw my boss. She was gorgeous. She is still gorgeous. She was 35 at the moment, or 30-something, 34. But our age now. Yeah. And we're talking 2012.
Yeah.
this gorgeous woman. She's a badass, and she's at the same time she's so sexy. She's so elegant. You know, like there's this feminine. Oh my God! I was like a boyish girl who would just run and play soccer in the field, and I see this beautiful. I'm like, oh,
who's a powerful leader?
Yeah, and a powerful leader, and she has, and in the country where women does not have much voice, inspiring the shit out of me. So I wanted to be like her, and I started working hard, and I became her first assistant and project manager and the creative director, and we were inseparable. And she helped me to gain my strength and recognize that strong woman inside of me. And that was such a beautiful journey. Then I come here, my ego is killed. You're nobody here. Back then, again, one of these, this is the magazine I used to do back home, right? And I have all the more versions of it right here. For a year we were publishing this, and I had the magazine. I had this. It just missed me. Oh no, it was right here.
Oh wow! Oh, look at young Auzzy. Oh, look at young Auzzy.
Young Auzzy. Yes, that's 2013, I think.
Wow.
But yeah, so and you know, I became editor in chief of my own magazine. I was traveling.
This is all in
Russian.
In Russian.
Yeah.
Wow,
in Russian.
That's cool.
Yeah, I had a great team, and it was a beautiful project. It was a passion project of mine. So
look at that background, dude. This is like a Hollywood story.
I know, right?
Here. Wow.
I didn't know.
And this is back home in Russia.
Yeah, it's back in Azerbaijan, but the Russian language.
Russia.
Yeah. So
cool,
yeah, I can take that from this so it doesn't. So became that, right? And it was like, oh my God, I have my own magazine. I grew to that. So, and some sort of scale of the small country celebrity. Right? People were talking about me, like, you know, I could hear everybody discussing the magazine, you know, this is like I was invited to lots of beautiful events. I've interviewed greatest people, you know.
And then, like you said, you come over here.
And then I come over here, I'm nobody.
Oh, goes away.
Nobody.
How was that for you? Humbling?
Yeah. I kind of, like, it was just because at the moment back home, it was, everything was falling apart, and the abusive relationship were getting to the extreme level. It was fights and physical, you know, I got hurt a lot. It was too much. And then I came here for 2 months. I didn't know anybody. Nobody hurt me. Nobody knew me.
I didn't start over.
owe anyone anything.
Yeah.
Kind of needed that calm down, you know? And I just rested. And you know, we talked about this. I was diagnosed, and I come here, like, give up on life. I have 2 years to leave. That's fine. I'm just gonna have fun. And then from nobody, I recognized, oh, I can be this. I can be, you know, cheerful this. I can be very...
whoever you want to be.
Yeah, and then you get to try all this. And then why do you think, right after pandemic, I'm like, you know what? I like this being different all the time. Maybe I should be a CIA agent. So I go to application. No, I shit you not. It sounds like a joke.
Yeah.
I literally opened the laptop and I found CIA. Yeah. And in order to apply, you need to be a citizen, and which I'm not. I'm still in the process of getting green card and all that. But I'm like, what's the next best thing? You know? And then acting came to the picture. I'm like, oh my God, genius! I get to be whoever. Yeah. and it's honestly one of the best decisions of my lifetime. Not because of Oscars or big dreams or big movies, just being on stage.
The art of it itself.
I live there. I swear to God, right now I can say that I'm actually good at it. On theater, on stage, it doesn't exist to me. The magic happens. The whole place changes, and I transform to these different people, these different women. And I get to live more and more women's lives. I don't know. Is that like my past lives? Is that just the characters? I don't know. But it's
beautiful, right?
Beautiful. I feel like we shouldn't, like, it's, you know, when it's like, I'm this very serious I'm such a goofball. If it comes to goofing, like, good luck, you know? Because I don't take myself seriously. Because when we do that, that's when life seriously fucks us over. Because you're like, oh, it seems like you think you're important shit.
Right.
You know?
Do you feel like acting came to you at that perfect right time? Like, you think if it would have came too early, or like it wouldn't have had the same effect?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's, did I tell you that story? I don't remember. But I came here, LA, right? Everybody's an actor. So I've met lots of actor friends. I used to go to Shabbat on the house in the hills. The guy was inviting us every Friday. I did not know he was one of the biggest producers in Hollywood. I had no idea because I was not. I didn't want to be an actor, so I wasn't curious about it.
Just I'm
like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So we chatted, and I never, because I wasn't an actress, I was a designer. So we have nothing to do. That's why he liked me that much. You know, we were so close friends.
It was a real
because
relationship,
nobody
like
wanted.
friendship.
Nobody wanted, like, every actor that came to the party wanted to be noticed.
Right. Yeah.
He just wanted to have Shabbat and you know, barbecue and some food and chat.
Be a real person.
Yeah, and we jammed and so I did not want to be an actor, right? Again, this friend of mine, she invites me to, it's like, oh, there's this showcase night at the BHP. I did not know BHP back then. She didn't tell me the name. She just sent me the address. I took a bus and I went to BHP. I had no idea. So I went and I watched the scene. I'm like, oh, that was beautiful. So I watched a little theater and left. This is, we're talking 2015. 2021, I come to BHP. Oh my gosh, this tree sounds familiar. It looks familiar. And the stairs. Have I been here? No, I don't remember. And then I go upstairs and I see that theater where I watched the play, the little showcases of the students. I'm like, holy shit! I went out of all schools in LA to end up in that one.
Full circle.
Seriously, you throw an apple, it hits this acting school in LA.
That's crazy.
Imagine that.
Wow.
And then that's not over. As I was a designer and tailor, so I was looking for a job here when I just came. I found this clothing restoration thing. I came there, said it was like, do you guys need help? I literally just was asking. They took me on a trial for a day, and my mother is a tailor, so we do high quality sewing. In a restoration, they don't have time for that. They need to quick do it, right? So they bring the jeans, and I'm trying to roll back the stitches as it's supposed to be like a factory. He's like, hey, no, we don't have time for that. You gotta do it basic. And I'm like, what? But he's like, okay, I think it's not gonna work, okay? And he kicks me out. Now it's next door to BHP. The atelier, the place, the guy, I know him, I recognize him. And I'm like, really? So I've been around this place for so long without intentionally becoming an actor. And do you think I chose it because of any of those memories? No. I was like, where do I go? What's the good school? So I did the research. It was on top list. And then I'm like, okay, let me see what my favorite actors, where did they go? Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh, I'm going there just because Michelle Pfeiffer went there. I end up in the same school that I've been around for
years ago. Yeah.
Coincidence? If it is, then I'm blown away. I don't know.
That's so funny.
So how I don't know.
Auzzy, I wanted to, as we start to wind down here, I wanted to make sure that we highlight this too, because you shared this with me that day at the shoot, and I feel like this kind of coincides with what we're getting at here, like full circle moment. There was an opportunity. I believe you had met somebody in a wheelchair. And you had the opportunity to do a project for her. I think she said she wanted to be a model. Yeah. Tell us that story real quick.
Okay. It was also on my YouTube channel. I have that. I don't know if I sent you, but you can take a look at it.
Yes, please do.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
One of the proudest.
It kind of brought us to where we wanted to do, because I think right after that we talked about doing this. So tell us about that story.
I don't remember. But so I came here. I was that abusive relationship out, depressed.
This was 2015?
2016.
16, okay.
2016, yes.
And I was depressed, and I was volunteering at a horse rescue center.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine, she was also volunteering at horse rescue center and Key in LA, which is a group of people who help people with disabilities, like entertaining. They go watch the plays together, so they just need some assistant help, right?
Sure.
So she goes there. She's like, and kids with disabilities, and she's like, hey, you want to come with me? We have a baseball game after the horse rescue center. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. So we go to the baseball game. We help pull the wheelchairs of the kids to the seating. And there's this girl, Nikita Wang, and she says, Nikita, meet Auzzy. She's a fashion designer. She's like, oh, really? I want to be a model. And you would think she Nikita has cerebral palsy, and she's not able to move independently. Her mother is taking care of her, and I'm like, it gets in my head. I'm thinking maybe I should do. It's not like when you say somebody with disability says I want to be a model, you're like, oh, poor thing.
Right.
That's not the reaction I had, or that's not the reaction my friend Paulina had. We were like, maybe should we do a photo shoot? I have a professional camera. I studied the studio photography courses.
You're a designer.
I can do it. Yeah, I know what to do. Do you think we could do that? She's like, yeah, let's do it. We go home, and I keep thinking about it. I'm like, what if I make a dress for her too? I start sketching, and I bring those sketches to her. Because she said she wants lilac color dress, like the wind in her hair, so kind of flowy something I wanted. So I sketched a couple dresses. Mm-hmm. She chooses the one that she likes the most. I'm like, I'm gonna make it, and then I'm gonna take photos. And then I tell this about this to my friend. I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna pay a lot of attention to the dress, I need someone to photograph. So I'll ask my friend photographer. She took a lot of my pictures and a lot of my collections. So I'll pay her. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
She's like, oh well, I'm not gonna. I call my friend Sana. Sana, how much would you charge me? She's like, are you crazy? I'm not charging you anything. I'm in. I'm like, well, great, thank you. You don't have to. I can pay you. She's like, no. Then I'm like, well, can you call Tanya? How much is she's gonna charge for the makeup? She's like, I don't think she's gonna charge you anything. I'm like, no, it's fine. I get it. She needs to live. Yeah. I'm not. This is not me trying to get that for free. Yeah, I can do it. And Paulina we'll chip in. We'll do something. Tanya, of course, immediately she says, are you kidding me? I'm in. No, nothing needed. So this becomes bigger and bigger. And then I found the videographer. So this whole thing expands.
It's a full production now.
Full production, and it happens so organically, naturally. Nobody thought it's gonna get there that big.
You just made a decision. You committed. You went all in.
And then angels. I swear, some guide, something. It was extra help from something. I'm telling you, this camp it's not just people are angels as well. I swear to God. Everybody kind of just hopped on our boss, and it's let's do it. I had some friends okay, we're gonna need to lift her from wheelchair to put her on a couch. A friend of mine is a big guy. He's like, oh, I'm there. So he was just lifting. Wheelchair is heavy, the electrical one. It's really heavy, and he was just like, what if I make the t-shirts to everyone? So I buy the t-shirts and I draw the wings. It just the hashtag Dare to Dream, Grow Your Wings. That was the hashtag I came up with at the moment. I just draw the wings on a t-shirt and put the hashtag on, and the entire team had that. Everyone. Yeah, everyone had I swear. And then my friend's like, oh, we were ordering to print because Nikita also wanted the brand wall and the red carpet. So we're like, okay, well, let's print the brand wall that says Nikita Superhero. Wow. We come to the print place. They say, we're not going to charge you. Let's just put us the logo. We'll do it for free. They print us the whole brand wall. We rent the place, a house. We're like, okay, I have still money that, please take my money.
Right.
We found a place, a house to rent. So okay, this is a budget. Good. Let's talk. And the girl's like, hey, you want to come and see the location? We come, and she's like, what are you shooting, guys? We're like, oh, there's this project that Nikita, she has cerebral palsy, so we're doing a photo shoot for her. She wants to be a model, and we just wanted to give her a little dream day. She's like, my mom has cerebral palsy. You guys, you can have the house, no charge. I cannot charge you for this. You have to be there. I want to be, can I come and can I bring my mom? Of course. Wow. And you know, we get the house, like, I'm telling you, it escalates. It just keeps escalating. And I'm like, listen, maybe we should call KTLA or something. Like, wait, maybe you should send, maybe they notice her. She wants to be a model. And this is LA. Everything is possible. So KTLA came. I believe it was KTLA. They came, they did the episode. She got the offer to work as a model for sportswear for people with disabilities. Wow. After that, how? Yeah. It's like, you know, it started from something, let's just make her feel good.
Right.
Escalated to this, and honestly, I swear to God, her mom called and said, you know, we are busy with day to day, how to get off chair, get in bed, eat, go to school. There's so many basic tasks. Nobody ever, you know, thought this far.
Would even be possible,
and it wouldn't even. And there was this much people, Paulina, and every single person who was in that shoot put their hearts in. It's not. I cannot even say, oh, I did that. No, it started from me, but it's just expanded to this beautiful people coming all together. No, I swear to God, I'm talking like I have goosebumps because everybody was there just to please her, to make her dream come true. And it was like, we all wanted to be there. Nobody was like, on time, you know. There was no attitude whatsoever, nowhere. I was like, oh, you know what?
What I love about that too, and I remember you told me this that day at the shoot, is Nikita thought that you were helping her, but you told me that she
was helping me.
Because I think you were going through a tough time.
Yeah.
Right? And you never really told her that until like the end, right?
Yeah.
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 I just thought that's crazy. That's beautiful, right?
Yeah. At the end, I said that to her. I mean, it's like, you think I'm doing this for you, and you actually did this for me. Because the whole months of preparation, working, I felt so alive. I felt like, how dare I to be, you know, sulking in my boyfriend relationship drama.
Kind of brought you back to life. And
brought me back when I can do
right?
this thing, when I can do this, and so much more, you know. And her passion to life, I swear to God, she has more strength in life than a lot of people who can walk and, you know, do not need any help in doing basic things. Mm-hmm. She has much more life in her. It's very inspiring.
Yes. Auzzy, this has been so amazing. I feel like we could be here forever, but I want to leave you with a couple things. First off, thank you so much for sharing all this with us. I'm excited to have finally gotten to be able to do this. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, something is telling me, I just want you to know that God, the universe, has you right exactly where you need to be. You are right where you need to be, because, I mean, like I said, you could have been in New York right now. You could still be overseas, but you're here, and we got to do this today, something that we talked about, that we were excited about months ago. And thank you so much. So any last thing you want to leave the listeners of the Wavehealernation with? I know you've given us so much today, but, anything else until our next time that we meet, because I feel like we're going to do something like this again.
We can. I love to. I actually came back from that shoot, and I said, oh my God, I talked to this guy. It was just talking to you was so empowering and so healing. You have such a peace about you, such a vibe, you know. Seriously, vibe. And I'm so happy that we actually get to do this, you know. And thank you. You have no idea. We're just being there, because I know I'm a lot, you know. Like, and you just stand there, and you take. And you come back with something that just hits right here. Because I did feel a little bit guilty, not a little bit, a lot guilty, and there's a lot was going on over my head that I wasn't able to go. And you saying this, and my dad said the same thing to me, you're right where you need to be. You don't need to come. And you just said that. You don't even know that that's what I had the conversation with my father, right?
Wow.
And you saying this, and it's just like, thank you so much for giving me this space to share, and for being such a loving soul, hearing me out. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very healing, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, Wavehealernation, the Auzzy Experience. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.